No matter who we are,
or where we come from.
We all deserve to have a decent life.
We deserve to feel strength and stability.
Day after day.
We deserve to know we have the power
to take care of ourselves
and build our own futures.
At Habitat for Humanity,
this is what unites us.
Our shared vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live.
Because you, me, we.
We're all humans.
And every single one of us
deserves the opportunity for a better future.
Good afternoon. I'm Jen Parks, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity Chicago. I'm so grateful that you've decided to tune in and spend this time with us as we come together for our rally for resiliency. Each year at Habitat Chicago, we host our annual benefit breakfast. This springtime fundraising event brings our larger Habitat community together to reflect on our mission and to vitally contribute to move our work forward. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 crisis, we are unable to be together in person this year, but we are grateful for the technology that allows us to virtually rally for resiliency around the mission of Habitat for Humanity. Last year, we surveyed our supporters, asking them to reflect on the word home and to share the first thought that came to mind. The responses were heartfelt and inspirational. You would not be surprised to learn that safety, security, love, comfort, and family were themes that resonated among the hundreds of answers we received. Unfortunately, for many Chicagoans, the definition of home is now muddled with the stress and anxiety caused by unaffordable, unsafe, declining living conditions, conditions that weigh heavily on families and hamper their ability to make healthy choices. As we face the COVID-19 public health crisis, the work of expanding affordable housing and building equitable communities is more critical than ever. And this is what we do at Habitat Chicago. This pandemic has given many of us a distressing new perspective on just how important a stable home and a thriving community are to both our individual and collective well-being. It is strikingly clear that housing is healthcare, and each and every person's health is intertwined. My friends, while we were wrestling with one public health crisis, evidence of another emerged. Unfortunately, the origins of this pandemic are far from novel, and its devastating aftermath is certainly not new. Systemic, institutionalized racism. Racism that has permeated our country for centuries. Over the past few weeks, we've witnessed the tragic and senseless murders of Ahmaud Arbery, of Breonna Taylor, and of George Floyd. To say that I am saddened would be an understatement. To say that I am able to place myself in the shoes of those who live with the fear of being judged, persecuted, and killed because of the color of their skin would be minimizing. And yet, to remain silent on an issue that is truly at the core of humanity would be complicit, negligent, and wrong. We want to be and we will be on the right side of justice. For that reason, Habitat Chicago joins the voices being heard across the world in saying that we are anti-racist, Black Lives Matter, unequivocally. In the face of the devastation of these two crises, though, we have an opportunity to build anew. And that is why we are here today, to rally around our shared beliefs and work towards a better world, a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Initially, I intended to share with you an overview of Habitat Chicago, our mission and vision for Chicago, our responsive and dynamic menu of programs, our progress in 2 Southside neighborhoods. But rather than talk only about what Habitat Chicago is doing, I feel inclined to reinforce why our work is needed in the first place. We know that homeownership is closely tied to the American dream. Families aspire to own homes and live in communities with reliable infrastructure, high-performing schools, and diverse amenities like grocery stores, recreation facilities, and green spaces. Rhetorically, the American dream is accessible to all hardworking citizens. In reality, the formal and informal policies have been systematically implemented to restrict the mobility or limit residential options for non-white families. Discriminatory housing practices, like redlining and predatory lending, have defined and cemented the racial divide in housing affordability and accessibility, housing stock quality, and the geographic distribution of housing available in the U.S. The result of this means that persons of color are more likely to be 3 times as poor as whites, live in homes valued at 35% less than their white counterparts, receive an inferior education, and be targets of racial profiling by police. We see these effects play out in our city. The intentional segregation of our South and West Side neighborhoods through redlining has led to disparities in generational wealth, long-term and recent neighborhood disinvestments, and lower life expectancies. And so, I would like to take this opportunity to provide some insights into our programs, how they work, and why they are critical now more than ever. While it's incredibly important that individuals and families have a stable place to live, we know that it's equally important to support entire communities. We concentrate our work and investments into specific neighborhoods to maximize our impact. Currently, in partnership with local residents, we're at work in 2 Southside neighborhoods, West Pullman and Greater Grand Crossing. Over the past year, we have diligently enhanced our core services while also launching new programs to further strengthen families and equip residents with resources to positively impact their neighborhoods. Our affordable home ownership program gives families with low and moderate incomes an opportunity to purchase a home with an affordable mortgage. While in the program, families prepare for home ownership through classes, guidance meetings, and by building their homes alongside volunteers, construction professionals, and their future neighbors. Once they've completed this journey, homebuyers move into their new energy-efficient homes in West Pullman and Greater Grand Crossing. Recognizing the need to introduce people to the benefits and complexities of homeownership, we piloted Home Buyer University to prepare future homebuyers with the knowledge they need to successfully purchase a home. We know that a well-prepared homeowner who cares for and invests in their home improves the vitality of the housing market and thus provides a benefit to their neighbors. We also know that the rental market can be unpredictable and families often face challenges with increasing rent. Homeownership stabilizes a family's monthly housing payment. It ensures their payments are affordable and their payments are predictable. Our A-Class program is designed to ready individuals to purchase and maintain a home. Students walk away with the confidence they need to pursue the best homeownership option for their situation. Additionally, we launched our home care workshop series last year. We know that the benefits of properly taking care of your home are expansive and include reduced heating and cooling costs, improved air quality, improved lifespan of appliances, fewer pests, and increased resale values. Through our home care series, Habitat Chicago offers monthly instructional workshops to equip both renters and homeowners with the tools to ensure the long-term health and care of their home. We also operate Restore Chicago, a home improvement resale store that supports Habitat's mission and reduces waste entering Chicago's landfills. Our store is located on the north side in the Sauganash neighborhood. At Restore, customers purchase new or gently used donated items at an affordable price, and proceeds are reinvested in the Habitat mission to help more Chicagoans improve their home and community conditions. Last November, we proudly celebrated Restore Chicago's 5th anniversary. Lastly, our Neighborhood Grants Initiative invites residents of our 2 focus neighborhoods to dream up improvement projects that they would like to see in their communities and to submit an application to Habitat to provide the capital needed to make their dream projects possible. Upon approval, neighbors work together to plan and carry out the projects. Habitat supports the projects with resource guides, materials advice, and to the degree needed, structured planning sessions. Last year, we funded projects like porch repairs, refreshing a basketball court and hosting a neighborhood tournament, and cleaning up and landscaping a busy traffic circle. These projects improve both physical conditions and build social cohesion. I see this program as a particular beacon of hope. Through the Neighborhood Grants Initiative, between now and the end of the calendar year, we plan to invest over $30,000 into Greater Grand Crossing and West Pullman. That is $30,000 into 2 neighborhoods that fell victim to last week's riots and subsequent looting. That is $30,000 into 2 neighborhoods that have been disproportionately affected by the COVID-19 crisis, both in cases of infection and instances of unemployment. These funds will infuse both neighborhoods with funding for programs that directly addresses the needs of the communities as defined and carried out by their residents. Now, we do have a critical fundraising goal today. Our goal is to raise $155,000 in support of the Habitat Chicago COVID-19 Resiliency Fund. This fund was established to stabilize our operations and keep our work moving forward during the pandemic in the face of many hurdles. If at any point you are feeling inspired to make a donation to support your Chicago neighbors, please click on the donate button below. This will open up our donation form while our program will continue to play in the background. For live updates on our progress, you can click on the link below to join our chat at any time to see what we are accomplishing together today. Next, I am so pleased to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Suzette McKinney. Dr. McKinney currently serves as CEO and Executive Director of the Illinois Medical District. The Illinois Medical District is one of the largest urban medical districts in the United States. Dr. McKinney is the former Deputy Commissioner of the Bureau of Public Health, Preparedness and Emergency Response at the Chicago Department of Public Health, where she oversaw the emergency preparedness efforts for the department in addition to overseeing the department's Division of Women and Children's Health. She is co-author of the text Public Health Preparedness, Emergency Preparedness, Practical Solutions for the Real World. Earlier this year, Chicago Magazine named Dr. McKinney one of the 50 most powerful women in Chicago. Dr. McKinney holds her doctorate degree from the University of Illinois at Chicago School of Public Health. She earned her master's degree from Benedictine University and her bachelor's degree from Brandeis University. She holds faculty appointments at Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health and the UIC School of Public Health. We are honored to have Dr. McKinney here with us today to learn from her wealth of experience as a leading public health official. I can think of no one more timely to help us better understand how this pandemic is impacting our neighbors' health and housing outcomes.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Suzette McKinney, and I serve as the CEO of the Illinois Medical District. The Medical District is a rich community of healthcare, science, and technology-based organizations. The IMD fosters economic growth by supporting healthcare, research, educational advances, technology commercialization, and real estate development initiatives. We also facilitate collaboration among clinicians, academicians, private industry, and patients. I'd like to start my remarks today by thanking Habitat as well as its board member Neville Reed for the invitation to speak with you today. I was introduced to Habitat by Neville, who also serves on the board of directors for the Illinois Medical District. I am proud and honored to be invited to speak with you today. I want to talk a little bit this morning about why communities are suffering disproportionately during the COVID-19 pandemic. Much of this has to do with what we call the social determinants of health. Social determinants of health refer to the social and physical environments and factors that promote health for all of us, including our homes, our workplaces, our neighborhoods, and our communities. Healthcare disparities in communities of color have been seen for many years as a result of social determinants of health. In terms of COVID-19, what we have seen is that despite making up only 15% of the population in the state of Illinois, African American residents account for 29% of confirmed COVID-19 cases across the state. 41% of Illinois residents who die or who have died from COVID-19 are African American. In April of 2020, the Latino community accounted for 14% of COVID-19 cases and 19% of deaths from COVID-19 in the city of Chicago. Across Illinois, Latino majority areas have the highest number of confirmed cases. And on average, tests in those areas come back positive for over 41% of the time. I mentioned the social determinants of health and their relation to COVID-19 infections because what we have seen over many years in the public health community is that inequities in African American and Latino communities have long existed. Inequities in housing, income, access to health care, and economics overwhelmingly contribute to disparities in healthcare outcomes. That is no different with COVID-19. So I ask you today to continue to pay attention to the messages from local and state officials, as well as the Centers for Disease Control, with regards to how you can protect yourself from COVID-19. In vulnerable communities here in Chicago and across the state, these protective measures cannot be overemphasized. To date, Illinois has had over 127,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases, and unfortunately, our state will soon surpass 6,000 deaths since the start of the pandemic earlier this year. Governor Pritzker and Mayor Lightfoot acted early and aggressively and were led by the science, with public health being the top priority. It is because of their decisive action that Illinois was able to keep its hospital system from being completely overwhelmed and was also the only state in the U.S. to have met all 5 White House requirements or White House metrics for reopening. It's important to remember that while Illinois and Chicago continue to make progress, and despite the warm weather brought on by the summer months ahead, we are far from the finish line. It's still important to take basic precautions and help save lives. As a reminder, those precautions include staying home if you can, avoiding large gatherings, and when you are in a large gathering or a place where 6 feet social distance cannot be maintained, ensure to wear a mask or some other form of facial covering. Yes, they do work. Keep your immune system in fighting shape by also ensuring that you are getting the proper amounts of sleep, eating well, and try to get some exercise, as well as staying hydrated. Lastly, please don't forget about your mental health. We are all under extraordinary stress, so try meditating, streaming some yoga classes, or escape into a book rather than the 24-hour cycle newsfeed. COVID-19 will be with us for the foreseeable future, and until a treatment or vaccine becomes available, there is still a risk of persistent outbreaks, and possibly even a second wave later this year. So once again, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of taking care of yourself and encouraging your friends and family members to do the same. I'd also at this point like to talk about why Chicago is a place and can be a place for everyone with a wonderful place to live. Habitat's strategy of working at the community level ensures that everyone has a voice and that challenges which are unique to specific neighborhoods are addressed. Focusing on individual neighborhoods presents opportunities for impact to spread, which in turn can help uplift whole communities. Everyone, whether you live in the Loop, West Pullman, Greater Grand Crossing, or Rogers Park, deserves to have a stable and healthy living environment that doesn't pose a threat to their health and well-being. The work of Habitat Chicago is vital to ensure this vision is a reality for all Chicagoans. Chicago needs habitat. Building new homes in neighborhoods that are vulnerable to decline are critical. Creating opportunities for home ownership to families whose current housing is unsafe, overcrowded, or unaffordable, making social distancing more difficult during a pandemic is also critical. Investing in programs that bring neighbors together to positively impact their homes and communities is one of the core aspects of Habitat's work. Equipping future homebuyers with the knowledge, tools, and confidence needed to purchase a home is also vitally important. I am proud to support Habitat Chicago in their work to ensure that everyone, regardless of race, gender, or economic status, has a safe, affordable, and stable living environment upon which to build a foundation for a healthier and more prosperous future. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Tony Smith, Market Manager for Community Development at PNC Bank and a proud partner of Habitat for Humanity. Together, we have partnered in cities across the country to make home ownership a reality for so many working families. And we know that when you create homeowners, you create and build communities. You make them stronger and you create a better future for our children. And PNC understands that investing in underserved communities is critical to creating a more equitable city and a more equitable country. Social equity is a value I take personally. I know it. My family owned a small business here in Pullman, and when the blight fell upon the area in the 1970s, we lost that business. And reinvesting in a neighborhood has to be an important value, and it's one that both Habitat and PNC share. Together, we can transform communities, take blight and turn it into something special. And together, reinvest in our communities to make them more vibrant. Habitat is helping to change the narrative in many communities. That is, the Habitat presence is a boost of confidence. It helps us to believe that we can make neighborhoods stronger and more equitable. But we can't continue the Habitat miracle without every one of us making it happen. And that means we have to give with our hearts, our minds, our wallets to make it a difference. And that together we can do even more. It's why I give personally, it's why we give as a company, and why we encourage everyone here to do what you can to help. So let's give generously and help continue this Habitat miracle. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is John Zirin, and I'm one of the owners of Elite Staffing. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us in support of this amazing organization. Elite is thrilled to be a lead sponsor for the Habitat Rally for Resiliency. Elite Staffing is a family-owned and operated business, and we got our start right here in Chicago in 1991. We've grown to operate in almost all 50 states, but Chicago's still home, and our offices are headquartered just off of Ogden and Grand on the west side. Our business couldn't exist without the hardworking men and women of Chicago. They get up early, they work late, sometimes 7 days a week, to put food on the table and a roof over the head for their loved ones. But we know that sometimes the hard work and the long hours just isn't enough. So we are honored to be part of this amazing organization, supporting the people, the community, and the city that has done so much for Elite Staffing. We hope that others will be inspired as well, especially during these extremely difficult times. Please join us and help sustain the mission of Habitat Chicago. Thank you.
Today is the day that I get to give my daughter everything. Cut. My biggest concern was that we weren't gonna make it out, but I'm so happy that we're making it out now and into our own house.
We're on a mission and we're on that mission to help these families find their way home and to that new home, which is really special. I think the importance of service and volunteerism is the enrichment that it brings to all of us when we make the effort.
You have no idea how many nights I fell asleep and dreamed of owning our own house. Dreams are just that until you put some truth behind it. If you want something done, you can't sit down and wait for it to come to you. You gotta get up, you gotta get moving, give it everything you got. If it doesn't work out, at least you know what you're made of and you know where you gotta go from here. When we finish the end of the program, sign off on our paperwork, I can only imagine what doors it's gonna open up from there. So I'm really looking forward to taking this journey with you, kid. I hope you feel the same way. Oh, get in here, girl. Count of 6. 1, 2, 6. Woo! That was so awesome. Get in here, kid.
Now that I'm going to have a home, I'm looking forward to like painting my room and making it mine, like officially, because like when you live in an apartment, you can't do anything. I feel a lot stronger and so much more hopeful for the future now that we're living here. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it is.
This is all about teamwork and collaboration and the power of people banding together to accomplish something big. And to meet Tabitha and her daughter and her parents, you are so strong, and you talked about, to me, your dream, and that this means really having a home, not a temporary residence. This is it for you and your daughter, and you know that you did this as much or more for her than for yourself. So it makes me so proud to have played a small role in participating and to represent all the many companies who made their contributions to you. Thank you.
I am Cam Avery, and this is my wife, Lynn Donaldson.
Hi.
We are so glad you're here for this virtual benefit today. I have been on the board of Habitat Chicago for several years, and Lynn and I have participated in several local and international Habitat builds. Our admiration for Habitat Chicago continues to grow and grow as we see what it continues to accomplish on a greater and greater scale.
We hope you are impressed and touched by what you have heard and seen today about Habitat Chicago's incredible accomplishments and impact.
In normal, non-COVID times, the main fundraising event for Habitat Chicago is a large annual benefit breakfast that raises hundreds of thousands of dollars. This year, we're not able to have that breakfast, but with this virtual event today, we have the opportunity to make up for the loss of that benefit. With the participation of all of you who are with us today, we believe we can raise our goal of $155,000.
When you support Habitat Chicago, you are investing in 2 Southside neighborhoods that have been severely affected by the public health crisis. And you are supporting communities of color through the promotion of home ownership, financial education, and investments in neighborhoods that sorely need our support.
Habitat homeowners have the comfort of a reliable and secure home, which is the cornerstone of keeping themselves, their families, and their communities healthy. As we all shift into a new phase of recovery, Habitat's vision remains the same, and our resolve is even stronger.
Together, we are in the business of changing lives. We are investing in our city to see families thrive in healthy, affordable homes.
Now, more than ever, Habitat Chicago really needs our support. Therefore, in addition to what Lynn and I normally contribute, we have just contributed $25,000 to the Habitat Chicago Resiliency Fund. We are asking that you join us by contributing as you are able. Please give the gift of home today. Pull out your finger, click on that button that says donate, or use your mouse and click on that, which is on your event webpage, and make as big a donation as you can.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I've been carefully following the New York Times series, The America We Need, Emerging from This Crisis with a Fair, Resilient Society. There was a recent piece from pediatrician and professor Mona Hanna-Attisha, in which she writes, "We must begin to transform the concept of resilience from an individual trait to one that describes a community and society that cares for everyone. Rather than hoping that a child is tough enough to endure the insurmountable, we must build resilient places, healthier, safer, more nurturing, and just, where all children can thrive. This is where prevention and healing begin." At Habitat Chicago, we know that our housing and neighborhood plans are big, and our mission is long-term, but it can be done. A just and resilient society is not going to be built overnight, but today, we ask you to invest in this hands-on long-term endeavor, to think about the city and the world you want to live in, and give today what you are able to make it possible. Unfortunately, I need to share with you the challenges we face as an organization, particularly in the wake of COVID-19. We have had to close the construction site to volunteers, limit the operations of Restore Chicago, postpone classes and workshops, and rethink major fundraising events. These actions have drastically hindered our ability to advance our programs and, frankly, raise mission-critical dollars. This is not okay, because the people and communities we serve are most affected by the crisis at hand. We serve the 4 in 10 Chicagoans living in declining neighborhood conditions as a result of long-term discrimination. We serve the essential workers coming home at night, unable to social distance from their families. We serve the children home from school, spending long days and nights in homes that are unhealthy or unsafe. We serve the workers who've just lost their job while living in an apartment where they're already spending more than half their paycheck on rent. Here is what your generosity can do today. $10,000 allows us to advance new home construction, transforming vacant properties into stable homes and bright futures. $5,000 funds a year of tools and materials for the Home Care Workshop series, empowering workshop attendees to improve the health, safety, and efficiency of their homes. $1,000 helps neighbors come together to bring to life a project that enhances the look and feel of their neighborhood. $500 provides a year of hard hats for our volunteer crew leaders who unify people from all backgrounds around just housing. $250 paints the walls of a newly built house for a hardworking family excited for a fresh start in their Habitat home. And $100 provides a month of personal gear for our construction team and home buyers, enabling them to build with safety and pride. Support our work by simply clicking on the green donate buttons below the video and give a donation today. The funds we raise today will allow us to continue supporting families, create resilient communities, and invest in neighborhoods most affected by institutional racism. We cannot do this work without you, and we are just one piece of the puzzle. There are many organizations working to dismantle the many facets of racism. We encourage each of you to not only support Habitat, but also support organizations like the NAACP and My Block, My Hood, My City, who are doing critical work in the Black community at this time. Together, we can build a just city, a city that we all feel safe and proud to call home. Thank you for signing on and spending your time with us today. And thank you again to our lead sponsors, PNC and Elite Staffing. We hope you found your time well spent this afternoon. We thank you for your belief in our vision, and we look forward to continuing on this path to justice.